Hi, welcome. Today we will analyze one of my favorite games, and playing with white we have Daniil Dubov, and with black Sergey Karjakin. So this game has been played at Russia, I think at Moscow, and Daniil Dubov has played with white and Karjakin with black. One interesting thing, they are both Russians, but Karjakin has double nationality, I think. At least I've saw that at Wikipedia, and he was born at the Soviet Union, so at Ukraine, and then he changed for the Russian nationality. So about some of their stats, well, Dubov is a pretty strong player, and this is, in my opinion, is Immortal. It is very interesting. So he has been always raising his rating, but in the last years, I don't know why or for some reason, his ratings stopped increasing. So he is 170 players. So at now he has 2710 of rating. And about Dubov, for example, at 2018 has been one of the second of Magnus Carlsen when he played against Nepomniachtchi. So about Karjakin, nowadays he has 2750. He has a higher rating. He has played against Magnus Carlsen for the world title, and it has been a pretty interesting match with a lots of draws. And then in the end, on the rapid, I think, games, Magnus Carlsen has won the match. So right now, I think Karjakin has some problems with feed related to political issues. So for now he isn't competing since, I think, 2019. About their chess.com accounts, if you have curiosity and you want to see, Daniil Dubov is the dullest, and in Blitz he has 31-21 of rating. Is one of the best players in the world playing online. And about Bullet, it's the same, 21-20, and his rapid rating is 26-81, but he almost don't play rapid games. About Karjakin, his nickname is Sergey Karjakin, and about his rating, well, in Blitz is 3023. It's pretty respectable too. Bullets 2969, and finally in Rapids 2735. So this is very interesting because Daniil Dubov will invent opening. And it isn't common to see a top player inventing something. And well, this game has been played at the, I think, Russian Championship Super Final. So they were competing to see who would win the competition. This has been played at 2020. And on those days, Daniil Dubov, 3 years ago, he had 24 years old. He is pretty young. And Karjakin is 30 years old. So, well, this game, it's perfect for this quote. An attack is just like life. You got to progress. Bobby Fischer. So here, Dubov has played e4. Of course, if you want to attack, you need to start with e4. And after knight, bishop c4, bishop c5. Here, of course, we have several different ways of attacking this setup. And the last theoretical video that we put it here on this channel was the Italian gambit with d4. And, well, I think... yeah, this isn't the Italian gambit, but we have some so different, beautiful approaches to play on the Italian, and this one is one interesting way of playing. The other is the Evans gambit, of course, very interesting too. We attack with everything, and well, Dubov will do a different stuff. He will start with c3, and after black continues with knight f6, pretty normal move too. He could play different stuff, but yeah, anything wrong at all. And now we need to think, okay, I can continue with d3 and I will be playing the gioco pianissimo, so a pretty calm game. I can play d4 and okay, this is the, I think, gioco piano, but on high level games they don't play very much. Or I can try to do the gioco piano and transpose to something related or similar to the Evans Gambit. So d4 and then b4. What the hell? What is that? Well, this doesn't exist. So, according to chess.com, this is the gioco piano, the line, the variant center attack. But no. Dubov, I think, was the first player to do that. And after b4, as Mikhail Tal was always defending, you need, if you want to attack and if you want to have good results, you need to push your opponents to the forest where 2 + 2 is equal to 5. I love this quote. I'm always talking about this quote because it's true. So right now, after b4, they are both in the forest, but a pretty dense forest. You can't see the light. And the thing is that black needs to reply with something and needs to decide, where will I put this bishop? Of course, I don't want to lose my bishop. So I can play bishop e7 or I can play bishop to b6. Well, the principle that makes more sense for me is to play to b6. Why that? Why is that? Because of the activity of the piece. So if I play bishop to e7, I will be putting the bishop on a passive square with not pretty much potential, so it doesn't look pretty, because after bishop e7 the queen is blocked too, so it doesn't look well. According to the computers, it's possible to play bishop e7, but for me it's kind of obvious. Bishop b6, it's the move. And here Dubov will continue with e5, and this guy knows how to attack, and that's the reason I want to see this guy playing more, because he don't compete much, and for me Dubov has so much potential, but he needs to compete more. He needs, I don't know if he's related to ambitions, or I don't know if he is doing different stuff right now, coaching, I don't know, but this guy knows how to attack, and e5 creates problems to black. And here, okay, exists d5, and d5 is similar to the ideas of the gioco piano and some Scotch gambit lines, this kind of stuff, but normally is the gioco piano. You can see knight e4, and probably, but more difficult, is knight g4. But yeah, these are possible. So here, Karjakin has continued with knight e4, and after that we need to decide what will we do next. Why is that? Because when black plays knight to e4, is creating pressure to this pawn with the knight and with the pawn, and the consequence is the pawn on b4 will fall. So okay, we need to decide. Here we have potential to play b5, but after knight attacks bishop d3, it isn't obvious how will we create problems to black. The other approach can be just to castle, but this looks drawish, and we can try to create problems with bishop d5. And of course, if we are playing a gambit, we want to create problems, and we need to seek for the initiative. We need to continue creating problems to our opponents. So here, Karjakin has continued with the best move. Knight takes the pawn. Of course, after knight takes, pawn takes, the idea is that this pawn is very weak, so we don't need to worry about this pawn. But the thing is that, yeah, we can recover one pawn, but we are losing by 2. So we need to play with precision. We need to be careful, or else this position will fall for white. So here Dubov will continue creating pressure, bishop g5. And after black continues to knight e with knight e7, this looks ugly, but the truth is, how can we reply after bishop g5? The thing is that the queen doesn't have any square, and it seems dangerous to advance f6. But yes, it's playable, but okay, it's playable. After pawn takes, queen e2, queen e7, and okay, this looks complicated for black. So for this reason, he played knight to e7. And okay, we have one at tempo, because the knight has played to e7 and is pinned. We are losing by 2 points, but talking about the center, white as the center, because I'm occupying 2 central pieces of black's territory. About the bishop, yeah, this is a good piece, but even we can have at long-term plans of playing a4 and a5. Why not? It's possible. So here, Dubov has continued with a pretty strong move, castle kingside. Why is that good? Because, well, he isn't losing tempos, he is maintaining the initiative, and black needs to answer. Because, for example, if black plays castle kingside, okay, we don't have any problem, but we will consolidate the position. So we will play bishop b3, and after, for example, a5, I think is possible. We can play queen d3, queen c2, and try to give checkmate, this kind of stuff. The thing is that my pieces are well placed, and I have a more dynamic position. So and I have space too, because of the fact that this pawn is on e5. So because of that, I can organize all my pieces and create all the problems that I want to create. So of course, I'm losing by 2 points, but yeah, details, that's not the more important thing. So here, black continued with h6, and of course we need to maintain the pressure with bishop to h4. Here, important, black can continue with g5, and probably is the best approach, but I understand that Karjakin hasn't played that, because after g5, okay, this looks dangerous again, because here we will play bishop g3, and for example the castle is difficult because the bishop is pinning this pawn, so I can, for example, play bishop e4. This doesn't exist because, well, the white squares will be too weakened, and the thing is that black needs to lose a lot of tempos, even ideas with, later, of course, with king h1 and f4, or even h4. These are possible moves. So it isn't easy to play g5, but probably would be better. Here, Karjakin played the most solid approach, because Karjakin is known for his defense. So we have an attacking player playing with white, a very creative player, as you are seeing, against pretty solid opponents. So I think he has the nickname the Minister of Defense. So the Russian Minister of Defense, I think it's a nickname and not a work. But well, here black continues with the castle kingside, and after rook e1, we want to center the rooks. Black continued with queen to e8 to try to activate by some way the queen. This continued with bishop b3, and after a5, the idea is to create counterplay on the queen side. Here we will continue with a very interesting approach. If you want, you can put on pause, because of course this is a very nice game to work out your tactical moves. So here you have a tactical idea that will force your opponents to make hard decisions. So the move is bishop f6. incredible stuff. I love this move because, well, the idea is quite simple. If pawn takes, of course, the idea is that this king will be open until the rest of the game, and after pawn takes we are pinning the knight. And the thing is that this bishop cannot play here because the pawn haven't advanced, so this is lost for black already. So because of that, black cannot take the bishop. So the alternative is just to try to create counterplay again. According to the computers, probably the best idea would be, for example, to play knight g6 and try to play this position. It isn't easy because I don't understand what is the idea after, for example, knight. Here probably white would take the pawn, and for me it isn't easy to understand the idea because the bishop will take. Okay, black has some counterplay when bishop takes, but okay, queen c2, and we are continuing to create problems to black. So, and the thing is that we advanced already 3 moves, so it isn't easy to calculate this kind of stuff. So Karjakin has played a4, and the idea is always solid. So Sergey Karjakin is always trying to create a solid position for him, but it isn't easy because Dubov is always breaking the solid positions. So if the bishop is being attacked, we are going to put the bishop on the safe square. Important for players with less than, for example, 1400. We don't want to play bishop c2. It's possible, but you're going to lose some space and some of the quality of the bishop. Because, okay, here we just have one plan, and the knight can play later. If you play the queen to d3, the knight can play to g6. So yeah, it doesn't work. It's complicated to work. But if you continue creating pressure to the pawn on f7, this will be harder to defend. So here Karjakin continued with the obvious move, knight to g6, and after queen d3, the idea is to take the knight. And are you seeing how can we attack? Because Dubov is always maintaining the initiative. You see, this is so important. You want to continue always creating problems to your opponent. So here, Karjakin continued with d5. The idea is that right now I cannot take because the pawn is blocking the attack, the square to the bishop. And here, of course, after pawn takes en passant, here black will continue with bishop e6. It's necessary because the rook is was attacking the queen. So here bishop played to e6, and after queen sacks on g6, here if I were seeing the game at Russian, I would applaud. This is brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Because, well, Dubov is sacking the queen. It's always good to see a queen sack on a classical game. So here, yeah, we need to take. And we need to take and pray to see if this works or not. Of course, the idea is always to take with the rook because the bishop will give later a check. According to the computers, according to the computers, this position is playable for black. In my opinion, it's difficult to be played. If I was playing with black, I would lose probably in 10 moves, I don't know. And yeah, he has lost in 18 moves. So, yeah, okay. The difference between the 2000 and the almost 3000 player. But well, this continued with queen to f7. Of course, the most correct move. And, well, yeah, Dubov continued taking the pawn on c3. And the thing is that, okay, already Dubov is losing for now by 3 points. But black has a lot of problems to solve. One of the problems is the queen that can be pinned at a long turn. So this continued with queen h8. It makes sense. The differences between king h8 or king h7 is that on h7 at long term you can have problems with the knight or the bishop putting the rook on a safe square. So this continued with king, and after rook to e4 he is attacking the queen. So black needs to answer with queen to f5. And again, how can we win this position? The thing is that this is pretty simple to play, because okay, here if we can put the rook on the 7th, we are going to put the rook on the 7th rank. And why is that interesting? Important, because we are threatening to give checkmate. So this check, and then the king will go somewhere, we block the path, and this will finish on the checkmate. So here black continued with rook to g8, and after that, of course, we take the rook. If we can take material, we take. The thing is that it doesn't exist pretty much possible moves. Here, I don't know if it is possible to play rook to f6, but it's ugly because we can advance d7, so it looks complicated to play this move. So rook seems correct, and after bishop takes, here black continues with the rook, and now of course pawn takes pawn. And let's evaluate again the material. So here Dubov is with the same material than Sergey Karjakin, but the thing is that this is a symmetric position because black has a queen, white has a minor piece plus a rook plus pawns, so plus a pawn on the 7th. So it's difficult to play this position for both sides, but for me probably I would prefer white, because white is attacking and black is defending, and I like to attack. So here black continued with queen to c2 to try to break the position of the bishop, because the bishop is defending the rook, the queen is threatening to take on f2 because the bishop is attacking too. So it looks a strong move, but here Dubov will make the best move and will find the best continuation. Bishop to e5, and the idea is that okay, I don't need to be worried about queen takes or bishop takes, because okay, queen takes, here I will play king to h1, and after queen c2 again, I don't need to be worried about again, because I can play a3 and continue this position with my king safe at h1. So here Karjakin has played bishop takes on f2, of course king to h, and after that bishop to b6. Karjakin played well, so he needs to create pressure on the passed pawn, and this will be probably the biggest mistake for Daniil Dubov, but it isn't a big mistake. So a3 was necessary to maintain the advantage for white. Why is that? Because black wants to create counterplay on the queen side, and it isn't possible to create threats to the rook or the pawn. So this could be easier to win for white. So instead of this move, Dubov has played h3. I understand too, because he wants to give some air to his king. He doesn't want to lose the game with checkmate on the 8th. So he played that. It's understandable, and white is well too, so any problem at all. Here black continued with king to h7, and after that rook e1. Of course black will continue with a3. So the idea is to try to create counterplay on the queen side. This continued with king to h2, and the game is already finishing, because here we have another very interesting approach for white. Black will play g5, and after knight to d4, the idea, or one of the most interesting ideas, is that he wants to create pressure to the pawn on g7. So it's very interesting because, well, I don't know if you're like me, but when I play against a queen and I have two rooks, most times I first start thinking, okay, how can I draw this position? And if it isn't possible to lose the game, I start thinking in ways of creating problems to my opponent. Today I've done a game on the internet like that, so it's interesting to see the way as Daniil Dubov is thinking in this game. So here Black continued with Queen to C4, and after Knight plays to F5, it's interesting because right now he is attacking with 3 pieces, and well, Black can't defend this square. So this continued with Queen takes, and after Rook plays to C1, the idea is that this pawn can advance, and Black is completely lost. So the game continued, but well, King, and after Rook takes, King takes, this is completely won for White. Because here we are winning by 1 point, but well, it's more than that, because we are winning all the pieces, and yeah, this will finish in a checkmate. Why is that? Because, well, we are threatening to do whatever we want. For example, if the queen takes, this would be a terrible blunder. Why is that? Because the rook is controlling those squares, and we can continue with rook e5, and, well, next we have checkmate in 1 move, so very interesting. So at least we would win the queen here. So for this reason, of course, Karjakin has resigned. One interesting thing, and don't go yet because we will see the precision of this game. One interesting thing in this game is that after the sack of the queen, this position was playable for Black, but it's the same old history. We are humans, and the humans have pretty much difficulties to play defensive stuff. So let's see the precision. So this is the precision with everything on the maximum strength. So Stockfish 16 on chess.com, maximum strength 45 megabytes, 99 depth, 5 lines, and it's this. So review, it's the first time I'm going to review this game on the engine, so I don't know what will happen here, but for me Dubov has made a brilliant game. So I don't know, one interesting thing, if was for me possible to ask somebody with a super GM, I would make this question. Do you think about those moves, or is this preparation? Because this is important, because I think most moves are prepared. 2 brilliant moves for Dubov, incredible. So 96.6 and Black with 85.2. We will see next the brilliant moves. So about the performance, the evaluation of the level, Dubov has played for 2950 and Black for 2500. So opening 96 and middle game 96, Dubov perfect and almost perfect, and Karjakin 99.8 and middle game 83.8. According to the evaluation, let's see quickly. This is theoretical in precision, and Black has almost half point of advantage. And let's see, where is the brilliant move? Everything well, and okay, we have a key. We have here a small mistake, and oh, of course, bishop f6 is brilliant, and the next move probably is the sack of the queen. Yeah, the sack of the queen is brilliant. After that, the position is playable, as you're seeing. So almost, yeah. 0 point something, 0.5. So this is completely playable for Black. So I will put here the board, and as you're seeing here, the position is superior for White, but it's slightly superior. It's not something terrible. So this continued like that, and in this position, this is already won for White. So Dubov played almost always the best move. So yeah, this is my analysis. So very, very interesting approach of Daniil Dubov that literally invented an opening. So Dubov Evans, I don't know if is this the name, but I enjoyed a lot this game, and it's interesting to see this probably on a video about openings, because I don't know if we have potential to maximize this opening and try to trick someone in 1 or 2 games. Of course, I don't recommend you to do this always, but 1 or 2 times, yeah, why not? It seems interesting and aggressive, so yeah, I think this could be good. Well, for today, it's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, I haven't told today anytime. Please subscribe. I need your help to continue growing this channel. We want to reach the 3,000 subscribers, and to do that, it's free, and you will be giving a very big help. So it's over there, and I think chess.com will push fireworks, this kind of stuff. And if you haven't seen the last video, you will want to see the video, because I've created a study about the peace tournaments. So please click over there. It's long, it's almost 1 hour of video, but I analyzed all the games, and because of that, yesterday I haven't created any video, because I was literally analyzing all the data. So good video, and till tomorrow. Bye bye.